There are so many favorite things to choose from, but I have been, I spent the last 3 years being the happiest professionally that I've ever been. You're not supposed to have a great time making a huge movie because, directors always like, I hated it, they killed my vision. I got nothing but love and support from the studio, from the cast, from the producers. It's been a phenomenal time. And I like complaining. I got nothing to complain about, which means I can complain about the lack of things to complain about. So I just came from a really wacky interview, so I'm just continuing that. Yeah, okay, it's gonna go. It always used to be chocolate, because I used to think that chocolate gives me energy, but I finally got around to, actually, because Idris had a fantastic chef, and I would be like, is there any chicken, some light rice? And that's what I would eat once a day, keep it light. Because chocolate, the problem with chocolate was, as much as I loved it, is it was like a time machine. It'd be zits like I'm a 15-year-old again, and I didn't want to go back there. So I tried to, usually I gain a lot of weight. And I was like, not this time. You're getting old. You can't mess around like that. So less chocolate and more just plain chicken with rice, and I'm super happy. I think we're shooting, maybe it was day 2 or day 3, we're shooting the press conference. Day 2, we're shooting the press conference scene when the big fallout happens. And there's a lot of people. We have a lot of extras sitting down. There's, Idris and John are up on the podium, and they're nailing it. And we have quite a few cameras because we get through the day quick. And I remember looking around, and I had my childhood friend who used to live with us when I lived in England for a little bit. When I was a kid, she stayed with us with her mom. And I told her I'm coming, and she was like, can I come? And she did, and she's sitting there, and we're shooting this thing, and I'm kind of just like, I look back, and I'm like, this is incredible, isn't it? It's amazing to have somebody from your past with you that's like kind of like, that's Idris, that's John. They're saying the lines you want them to say, and they're saying even better than you could have directed them. So it's, I guess Priyanka always, I'll tell you one. I got one Priyanka, one John. Okay. So the John thing, day 3, 4, we got to do a thing post-fight. So he's got to have cuts and bruises. And I go over, and me and Lisa Tomlin are amazing makeup artists, and we go over, and he's like, all right, point on John where you want the damage to be done. Because we talked about it, let's get to it. And John is there in the suit, and I'm going to do a horrible John impression. I don't do impressions. But I go up to him, and I'm like, maybe a little bit like here, with this, and a little bit here. And John is like, I am an object. And I'm like, what now? And he's like, I am an object. I'm like, John, let's get a little more specific about what you're trying to convey to me. He says, I'm here to serve the movie. How about you just point exactly on my face, just poke me where you want the blood to be. And that's John. He's there to make the best film possible. And, we have people like that. My job's pretty easy. When you have a good script, you have a star that wants to kick ass and go forth together. So, but that was my real introduction to what John is like to work with. I am an object. I will never forget that. And I think my favorite memories of Priyanka, because we'd always be nailing the stuff. She knows the lines are just perfect. But she would always, like, instead of we cut and there's like a reset up, 15 minutes, what have you, she will pull up an apple box, plunk down, and be like, "What you guys doing? How's it going?" And it becomes a film set it's got to be stressful because that's how it is. But it's also, we're not saving people. We're not in a hospital. We're not in a trench. So life is short. I want to work with good people who are not assholes and people who have a great energy, who will share that energy with me, will make something beautiful together. And Priyanka, we're pulling up and sitting there and just hanging out is the embodiment of that. So, obviously all the work matters and work comes first, but it's possible to have a set that people like, it's Sunday and you're going to work tomorrow, you're like, we're going to work, instead of another week of this shit. So that's how I try to run my set, and I think I succeed, but it's kind of easy when you have the 3 stars that are there doing the same thing, and better.